Okay, hello everyone. Thank you for joining the Christmas Symposium. I'm Astrid from Cafe Talk, and this is Madeleine. And today is the last English Symposium of the year, and as a special edition, it's about 2 hours long this time. We have 9 tutors joining us today, and they're going to tell you about the Christmas traditions around the world. The stream itself will be held in English. But if you have questions, you can post them in the chat either in English or in Japanese, and also during the presentations, and we'll ask them to the tutors for you.
OK。では、同じことをもう一度日本語で言います。皆さん、今日のクリスマスシンポジウムに参加していただきありがとうございます。カフェトークスタッフのアストリッドとマレーンと申します。本日は今年最後の英語シンポジウムでもあり、特別に長い2時間ぐらいのイベントになります。講師も10名も参加しているので、講師の皆さんと一緒に世界各地のさまざまなクリスマス文化について学んでいきたいと思います。ライブ配信は英語で行われますが、ご質問やコメントはチャットに英語か日本語でセミナー中にいつでも書いていただければ、私たちが拾って講師に答えていただきます。Okay. Everyone's here, and you can see all of our faces already on the screen. We've never had an event with so many tutors, so that's very exciting. So let's get started. Olivia, you're first. Feel free to share your screen whenever you want.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, can everyone see this?
Yes. Yep.
Looks great.
Okay, awesome. All right, I'm gonna jump right in. Okay, so hi everyone, my name is Olivia S. and I've been a tutor on Cafe Talk for a little over a year now. So this is my presentation on Christmas in Ohio, USA, which is where I'm from originally. So Christmas traditions, typically the biggest Christmas tradition that takes place in my family is the Christmas tree, which often serves as the centerpiece of pretty much every American family's Christmas. But for every family, it's like a little different, a little more personal, depending on what kinds of decorations you use and the ornaments you have. So we like to decorate as a family. Typically, it's my mom, my sister, and I who participate. So we get all our ornaments out from the attic because we have to put it away for the rest of the year. So it's a kind of a special moment to get it all out and lay all the ornaments out and then putting it on the tree together. So you can see from this picture here that we have a whole variety of ornaments. Many of them were a gift from an aunt of mine who is just like one of those people that loves giving ornaments as a present. So there are some really personal ones, like you can kind of see like the ballet slippers here. Those were for me because I used to do ballet. And there's also a polar bear because that was my sister's favorite animal at some point when she was younger. So those are just a few examples of how personalized ornaments can be to every family member. So while we decorate, we like to listen to music. Typically, this music includes like Nat King Cole Christmas song album, but we also are huge fans of Tchaikovsky's The Nutcracker. So we've seen the ballet many times, and we also own all of the songs on CD. So we like to listen to that on a speaker while we decorate. And even though you can't see them in this picture, we do surround the whole tree with presents by Christmas time. But in this photo, you can see my cat if you look closely. And he was honestly like one of the best Christmas presents I've ever had. So I think it's fitting that he is present in this photo. So Christmas dinner. So traditional Christmas American dinners, Thanksgiving we have turkey, but for Christmas it's usually ham. And then the side dishes are pretty similar. There's some overlap with Thanksgiving, but we have like mashed potatoes with gravy, green beans, sometimes mac and cheese, and typically pie for dessert. However, with the pandemic last year and this year, my family was unable to join with my American dad's side of the family, extended family for the holidays. So we kind of changed it up and had our own personal Christmas dinner, which included temaki zushi and karaage fried chicken made by my mom, which is really like a luxury because she doesn't make it super often. And for dessert, even though it's really cold and snowy outside, we actually had ice cream, which is not typical, but still a good dessert to have all year round. This is just a photo of our Christmas dinner spread from last year. So this is the temaki zushi that I mentioned. You can see like sushi rice, lettuce, dried seaweed, and we had salmon and tuna and canned tuna, along with some shrimp cocktail and a whole assortment of veggies. So like cucumber and avocado, and also some like tamago. So yeah, this is like a really good, like very untraditional Christmas dinner, but it's one of my favorite like dinners to have because I love sushi and I love raw fish. So this was really excellent. So thanks to my mom for cooking all of this last year. And in my family, typically we follow a white elephant gift exchange. So I'm sure some of you have never heard of a white elephant. So this is a basic explanation of the rules on how to do it. So first, everyone picks out like numbers out of a hat, and the number determines what order you get to choose your present. So most people agree that having the last number is the best because then you can see what everyone has opened. So the whole concept of white elephant means that you have a mystery box. So everyone picks out a present. Usually there's a certain dollar amount assigned to it. And then you just like look at one, shake it around a little bit. And if you think, okay, I'll try this one, then you open the mystery box. However, if something that you opened is really, really good and somebody else wants it, for the people whose turns are after yours, they can steal your present. So stealing often causes some controversy and conflict in the family, especially when it's like big bottles of liquor is something everyone fights over for white elephant, but a present can only be stolen up to 3 times. So if you are the third person to steal it, it's locked in, it's yours, good for you. And then lastly, in my family at least, if you aren't happy with the present you ended up with at the very end of the whole process, then typically we allow you to exchange your present in for cash. And Christmas this year for me is going to look a little different. So even though my family is still in Ohio in the US, I actually moved to Japan very recently. So this is my first time spending Christmas in Japan. I am alone, but I do have like some gatherings with friends planned, but it is the first time I've been away from family for the holidays. So it's a little bit bittersweet because I'm having like new great experiences here in Japan, but I do also miss my family around this time. And this photo is actually like the garden lights at Hotel Nikko Narita in Tokyo, where I had to quarantine. So that concludes my presentation. These 2 photos are just from a Christmas event I went to in Aomori City last weekend. So they had like a big tree up, they had a Santa, they had all kinds of decorations and lights up. So like seeing that even in Japan made me feel like I was back at home because we have similar decorations back home as well. So even though this is my first time away from family for the holidays, I still feel like very loved and surrounded by friends. So I hope everyone enjoys their holiday as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's see what we have in the chat. Tsuki Kusa says, a cute cat. So yeah, the cat under the tree already has a fan.
Thank you.
Very nice. So yeah, feel free to send further questions. If we get some questions about previous presentations, we can also pick them up again later. I was wondering, so if this is your first Christmas in Japan, did you see any big differences yet?
Do you mean like how they
like
celebrate
Christmas in
the
US
holiday?
and or like how people decorate or anything?
Yeah, I think the biggest difference is honestly the food that is eaten. So here everyone is talking about like getting their KFC chicken buckets reserved and Christmas cake. which is not like neither of those things are Christmas things in Ohio in the US. So that was kind of surprising to me. But, fried chicken and cake are both very good. So maybe that's a new tradition I will take on this year.
Yeah, and I mean, for some things, you really have to reserve them here in Japan because they're so popular. But I think even the convenience stores do like the cake. So if you want a last minute one, you can probably still find one.
Okay, good tip. Thank you.
Just reload again to see if we have any other questions. Not so far. Anyone else want to join in? Anyone else with experiences of Christmas in Japan, maybe?
Yeah, I spent a couple Christmases. One Christmas I think was alone in Japan, and another Christmas I found some similar-minded people who were lonely like me, and we spent it together. Yeah,
Nice.
That's my memory.
Yeah, it's similar for me. Also, like it's more spending Christmas with family in Germany, but then in Japan it's more with friends. So it's a different way to spend it, but it's really nice as well.
Yeah, I found a good like new friend group since I moved here. So I'm still like enjoying spending time with them for the holidays.
Very nice. Yeah. Okay, then let's move on to the next presentation. Next one is Maya. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Let me know if you pronounce it differently. Oh, I'm not sure did she freeze?
Maya might be frozen right now.
Yeah. Let's wait a second, and if not, then maybe we can just switch the orders. So in that case, Jack, would you be okay with going first, and then once Maya comes back, she can do hers?
Sure. Unless, wait, is she coming back now?
Okay.
Is she back?
Yeah, I think so. Oh yeah. Okay.
She's back. Yeah.
Hi, sorry.
Okay, no problem. Okay.
I don't know what happened. You just disappeared. Everything just disappeared.
What a timing too. No problem. It seems you're back.
Yeah, I actually thought the same, like, wow, great timing for this. Okay. Okay, just give me 1 second. Can you see this?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm just gonna go into full screen. Okay. Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Maya, and I come from Serbia, but I am currently based in China. I've been living and working here in China for the past 6 years. And today I'm here to tell you more about how we celebrate Christmas back home, so Christmas in Serbia. So let's begin. So first of all, what you need to know is that we celebrate Christmas on January 7th and not December 25th. And this is something that is probably the most unusual about Christmas in Serbia. People in Serbia are Orthodox Christians, just like people in, for example, Russia, Ukraine, Georgia, or Ethiopia. And this is why we celebrate Christmas on a different date. Now, there's a good explanation for this, actually, and I'm going to tell you a bit about this so that you can understand why we do it on a different day compared to most Christian countries. So in the year 45 before Christ, Julius Caesar proposed the so-called Julian Calendar, or what we now know as the Old Calendar. And this calendar was actually in use throughout the Western world for a really long time, until 1582, when Pope Gregory, I believe, decided that the average length of a year should be reduced from 365.25 days to 365.2425 days. I don't know if you knew this, but a year is not really exactly 365 days long, right? So it takes a bit longer for an average spin around the sun. And ever since this year, 1582, the Gregorian calendar, or the new calendar, has been in use worldwide. Here in the picture, you can see what the old calendar, or the Julian calendar, used to look like. And I would like to say that this calendar is actually still in use, but only in parts of the Eastern Orthodox Church including the Serbian Orthodox Church, which is why our church still celebrates Christmas on January 7th and not December 25th. And there is an interesting thing regarding the connection between these two calendars. So for any given event, its date according to the old calendar, so the Julian calendar, is actually 13 days behind its corresponding Gregorian date. And you can check this by counting the days simply between December 25th and January the 7th, and you will see that there are 13 days between. So yeah, this is more or less the explanation of why we celebrate it on a different date. And now let's talk a bit about how Christmas is celebrated in Serbia. So just like in any other Christian country, Christmas is the most joyful day. And it's the time when people celebrate family, peace, and love. And this is done in almost every single household throughout the country. Now on January 6th, we have our Christmas Eve, right? So in the morning on January the 6th, according to some traditions, very old traditions, the eldest and the youngest man in the family should go out into the woods and cut an oak tree branch. You can see an oak tree branch here in the picture. So cut the oak tree branch, and then this branch will be brought into the house before dinner that evening, so before Christmas Eve dinner. And the reason why we do this is because we believe that this oak tree branch is a symbol of Jesus Christ. So by bringing the oak tree branch into our household, we basically invite Jesus into our house and our celebration. And another interesting thing about Christmas Eve is, of course, the dinner that we share with our family members. It's interesting that in Serbia, people fast on January 6th. And this means that we do not eat typical food that we would normally take pleasure in eating. So you can see in the picture here some of the things that we normally eat on Christmas Eve. So usually there's fish, and then some baked beans. My mom is really good at making them. And then there's some pickled vegetables, bread, but also fruits and nuts. And although, like I said, we don't eat meat or sweets or dairy products, for example, that doesn't mean that this dinner is not delicious, because believe me, it is. And I'm going to miss it very much this year, or actually next year in January. Another thing about Christmas in Serbia is that in the morning on Christmas Day, most people, especially the ones who come from more religious families, go to church. And after that, they spend their time at home with their families, because Christmas is a family holiday, waiting to see who will be the first visitor on Christmas Day. This is very important. And actually, when we were little, my sister and I would really do our best to wake up early in the morning, have some breakfast, and then hurry to our grandma's house, because the person that comes to your household first on Christmas Day will get a gift, a special gift from one of the family members. And in return, this person will wish the family good fortune by burning a piece of that oak tree branch that I showed you a while ago, to wish the family prosperity, health, and good luck. Here's another thing that we do on Christmas. It's mostly the job of the lady of the house. So for example, my mom would normally do this. So we bake Christmas bread. You can see an example of what this bread looks like here. And my mom hides a coin inside of this Christmas bread. Now, the idea is for the family members to break the bread together, usually over lunch. For example, in my family, it's done over lunch, to see who will get the coin, because it is believed that the person who gets the coin will have lots of luck and good fortune in the coming year. But unfortunately, I haven't had much luck in getting this coin, because it's normally my sister who gets the coin out of this Christmas bread. And here's another interesting thing that we do on Christmas. In most countries, people say Merry Christmas to each other, right, on Christmas Day. But we don't really do this. Instead, we greet each other by saying Jesus was born. And then the other person would say, indeed, he was. Now, please just bear in mind that this is my literal translation from Serbian into English. So there might be some better ways to translate it, but I think this is what should give everyone an idea of what it actually means. And finally, I would like to tell you something about the Christmas tree and the presents in Serbia for Christmas. So since Christmas in Serbia is celebrated after New Year's Eve, most households will have already decorated their Christmas trees before Christmas. So that means that our Christmas traditions do not involve decorating the tree, because most of us will have done that, let's say, sometime in late December, for example. And when it comes to gifts, in Serbia, we mostly give presents for New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. But some families will prepare gifts for Christmas as well, especially if there are children in the family. Then it's definitely a must to have presents for Christmas as well. And I think that is all that I have time for tonight. So thank you for giving me a chance to talk about Christmas in my country and to share some stories. And I hope that everyone will have a great holiday.
Thank you very much for sharing your Christmas with us.
Thank you.
Okay, let me see what we have in the chat. Oh, there are some comments. Okay, so Linko says, yeah, I'll read the Japanese first and then I'll translate. Serbia no Christmas ni tsuite hajimete shirimashita. So this person heard for the first time about what Christmas is like in Serbia. So very exciting. And then
Thank you.
Tsuki Kusa says, I heard that you celebrate Christmas in Serbia in January. Interesting. Does Christmas bread taste sweet?
No, definitely not. And we really dislike sweet bread, like in general, not just for Christmas. And I've had a lot of struggle with that actually when I came to China, because bread in China is very sweet. I mean, in my opinion, it's too sweet. So no, Christmas bread is never sweet.
Okay, so do you eat anything with it or just the bread itself?
Yeah, normally we break the bread over lunch. So before, lunch starts, we all stand up around the table and we kind of, we wash our hands, of course, before that, but we break the bread and try to get we hope to get the part of the bread that has the coin hidden inside. So yeah, and then we have lunch, of course.
So I was wondering, is it an actual coin or is it like made out of something else?
No, it's an actual coin. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I don't know, if I was just imagining myself, if I was a child, I would try to cheat and find out where mom put that coin. Does anything like that happen?
To be honest, I don't remember that me and my sister ever tried to do this. I don't even know if when we were little, my mom would do this while we were awake. Maybe she would do it, when we were asleep or something to avoid this kind of a situation. But yeah, I guess some people do try to cheat. Yeah, it's true. Probably so. But like I said, I haven't been as lucky as my sister when it comes to this coin.
Maybe next time you visit.
Yeah, maybe next time. True.
So you said that, of course, you're away from home this year. So do you plan to celebrate with locals as well in January, or what are your plans for Christmas?
I have a good friend who lives in the same city in China and from Serbia, and she's married to a Chinese guy. So we usually celebrate Christmas when I'm here for Christmas. We usually celebrate Christmas together. So yeah, some local people join the celebration, and it's very interesting for them to see this breaking of the bread thing live in person. And I think actually last year, maybe it was one of the Chinese guests that got the coin.
Nice.
So that was fun. Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, great. Does anyone else also have a question they want to ask?
I think there's one more in chat from Aki Nicole asking, do Protestants and Catholics celebrate Christmas differently?
I'm not sure because I'm neither. So I'm not sure if they celebrate it differently. I think they do not have the same traditions that we have as Orthodox Christians. For example, the oak tree branch that I mentioned, or the bread, right? So, but I'm not sure.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, then let's move on to Jack. Are you ready? Oh, you're still muted, I think.
I know, yeah. I'm muted. Let me show my screen. 1 second. There you go. I think this will work. So Hello, everybody. Hope you're enjoying the live stream. I'm learning lots, by the way. I'm learning lots. This is great. My name is Jack. I am an American. I was born, let me go ahead and actually start this. I was born in San Francisco, but now I live in Portland, which is another West Coast city. But where I lived before Portland, I lived in Asia for over 20 years. So I lived in Japan for 8 years, and Taiwan for 13, and I had a year in China and a year in Korea. So I spent a long time in Asia. But as you can see, I've relocated back here to the States, and I'm continuing the same work I did before, which was teaching English. So I'm still teaching English here on Cafe Talk. You go to my student page, you'll see all the info that you need, my topic lessons, my casual lessons, and anything that's like specific to your learning needs. But you're not here to hear me talk about Cafe Talk. You're here to hear me talk about Christmas. So, so Christmas is specifically, it is as it was mentioned before, it is a religious holiday. So as a religious holiday in America, really the only group that really celebrates Christmas are the Christians, right? But it's also a time for a lot of family to get together. And something that we will do is we will do a traditional Christmas dinner that is on either Christmas Eve being the night before, or Christmas Day. And I'm sure that if you've had a Thanksgiving lesson when you're learning about American culture or American history, on Thanksgiving, that's a big family feast, and the whole family will get together. But Christmas is sort of like an alternate time, and that's when people get together for their family reunions and have dinner. But when do we have dinner? It's either Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, which kind of leads us to the next point. My question for you. What did Jack's family eat for Christmas Eve dinner? Right? I mean, I grew up in San Francisco. So think about, maybe is it a common American Christmas? Actually, I'm going to spoil it for you. The answer is no. Christmas Eve dinner in my family every year for 50 years, for as long as my brother's been born. Christmas dinner for us was Chinese food. Specifically takeout Chinese food. And why is that? Well, San Francisco is a very international, very international city, and it has a very large Asian immigrant community. So please excuse me, my throat's dry. I apologize for that. Get a little rusty here. So anyway, I grew up in a city where there's a large Asian population and a community. And if you remember what I said, Christmas is a Christian holiday. So a lot of businesses run by Christian families will take the holiday. And so who's going to have a store or a restaurant? Well, someone who is not Christian. So usually in my neighborhood, the only place that was open to get food, if mom didn't want to cook on Christmas, was a Chinese restaurant. Excuse me. And actually, by the way, this is something that my family has continued to this day. We still do this. I mean, we live miles and miles away from a big city, but on Christmas Eve, we'll still get Chinese food. And even my family has very close friendship with the owners of a local Chinese restaurant, because every year we always get Chinese food. But is that the typical American experience? Actually, no, I apologize. Actually, the typical American Christmas dinner experience, either Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, again, is going to be religious. So people will start the dinner with a prayer, as you can see here. And something else that you should know is that in different cultures, for example, in the UK, they have a specific Christmas meat. There's one meat that they always instantly identify as their Christmas dinner. And that in the UK, it's ham, a Christmas ham. Christmas doesn't feel ready unless it's a ham. In Canada, I think it's turkey, right? It's a turkey is important. But something happened in America. We don't care. We can have Chinese food. So if you want, but we do have more traditional, obviously very traditional Christmas dinners, but they're also a lot more casual, a lot more relaxed. So, but if you look at this picture here, you'll see that there are some very interesting decorations, and this is something that I think is a very common point between American Christmas and Japanese, perhaps New Year's, is the plates and the bowls we use for Christmas dinner are really important. It's not something that we just grab from the kitchen and okay, we're going to eat on these. It's a special occasion, so we use special dishes, and that's called china. So if you want to use the nice cups and the nice glasses, you use you say china, and if you want to talk about the nice 4 spoons, blah 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 blah, that's called silverware. So what is Christmas dinner? Well, I'm going to finish with this. I'm going to start with eggnog. Eggnog basically is a cocktail, and it's something that you drink before your Christmas dinner when you're socializing with the relatives. It is a cocktail, and it is usually served hot, but you can get eggnog mixed. So if you don't want to drink it with alcohol, excuse me, if you don't want to drink it with alcohol, you don't have to. Sorry, my voice is really dry. Okay, I'm back. Now, what is Christmas dinner? Well, something that is very common, in addition to the fruits, vegetables, and what have you on a dinner spread, is Yorkshire pudding. Now, this is pudding. It's not dessert. This is something that you eat with the meat and the vegetables. It's basically just a kind of a very light bread, and you pour gravy on it. Anyway, this is something that we eat with Christmas. And what about the meat? Okay, well, like I said, in America, we don't have a particular rule what it should be, but in the UK, goose is very common, and so many Americans will order a goose because it sounds more Christmas. But anyway, goose, basically, it's a very large duck. Ham, there you go. Of course, the Christmas ham, and ham is very important in a Christmas dinner. But the most important part of any dinner, of course, is the dessert. And this is called a Yule Log. And if the rest of my co-workers can agree, Yule Log is a very important dessert for Christmas. It is made of a real log. And what we do is we bake this log for a really long time so it's soft. And then we make the children eat the wood. Okay, maybe I'm lying a little bit. Basically, it's just a chocolate cake. It's a very delicious chocolate cake. So before I went a little too far, I want to make sure that maybe we covered some vocabulary, maybe that somebody might have in the chat somewhere in the live stream. Here are some keywords that you would want to know. You'd want to know that Christmas is a religious holiday compared to like a government holiday. We talked about Eve is just another word for the night before. Eggnog, pudding, Christian, of course, is a very important adjective here. Goose, ham, Yule Log. If anybody has any other questions, we can answer at the very end. Thank you very much. By the way, you can see me on other Cafe Talk events. I'm sometimes on the Hoppa Buddy events. I do have YouTube videos, so go ahead and check those out if you want to. And I'm going to move on to very last and the most important part, which is Merry Christmas. And don't forget to be happy, safe, and be kind.
Thank you very much. Okay, let's see what's in the chat. Noah Lee says, again, I'll read the Japanese and then I'll translate. とても美味しそうな食べ物が多いですね. There's lots of really delicious looking food. So yeah, I agree. I got really hungry while looking at your photos.
Yeah.
You mentioned about the goose that people would order it. So do people make part of the food themselves and then part they order, or what is common?
I guess it's we order the meat. Mm-hmm. So we would try to prepare ourselves. I guess that's typically. I mean, we have huge ovens and we like to use them. So
okay, so the Yule Log is usually self-made by the family.
Yeah, we'll bake it. Mom will bake it, and it doesn't look cool like that in that one picture. But basically, yeah, we'll bake it ourselves, or we'll just get it at the bakery. We'll cheat.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you can also buy it at bakeries as well.
Yeah, we can cheat. We're allowed.
And Yamasa says, I didn't know the word Yule Log looks so delicious.
Yeah. By the way, all of the recipes that you want, you can make these yourself. I got all of these pictures from a website called The Spruce Eats. Spruce, like the tree. So The Spruce Eats. Just go in there and just look for Christmas dinner, look for New Year's dinner. You'll get lots of ideas.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a few days left, so people can still have an American Christmas in Japan if they get prepared now.
Yeah, if you want.
Nice. Okay, then let's move on to the next presentation. So next is Shirin. Are you ready?
Yes. はじめまして。私はシリンです。インドからシリンです。Hello and a wonderful namaste from India. Okay, here I go. Let me share the screen. In my presentation today, I'm going to talk to you about the Christmas celebration, the Christmas celebration in India in the past and present. Yeah. I wonder why it's not going. Hang on. I go to the first slide. Oh, okay. There you go. As the first slide says, Christmas to us is a very joyous celebration. Yeah. Going to the next slide, Christmas celebration in the past and present. I'm going to talk about, the past and present Christmas celebration. Then the cities that celebrate Christmas in India, major cities, but very frankly, today, in every nook and corner of India, Christmas is celebrated. Then I'm going to talk a little bit about how the weather, food, and decorations here are, and a little bit about the vocabulary, if time permits. Okay, talking about the Christmas celebration in India in the past and present. The left side pictures shows some of the, the way Christmas was celebrated, maybe a decade or 2 decades early. Yeah, maybe, that's during my childhood, and how on the right side the pictures depict or show the Christmas celebrations in today's times. Yeah, Christmas celebration in the past, a decade or 2 decades ago, it was a very passive, very silent affair. Yeah, celebrated mostly by the Christian community people, and it's all about few churches being well decorated and then having a star in hanging outside the houses of Christian families, and then it's about midnight mass and the Christmas carols and all the Western outfits the Christian people wear. Yeah, they're like, for Christmas, it's all about the Western wear in the past. Now it's all a mix. It's totally different. But that time it's like, unlike the other Indian festivals where the people, wear the traditional Indian attires, like the Christian community people attire or dressing was slightly different. It's more modern and Western. Okay, and in the second picture, what you see was like we had some shops which would sell greeting cards. That was the only kind of fun or something that really stood out during the past. Yeah? And then having some nice fancy greeting card is really a big thing. We didn't 10 years, 20 years ago, we didn't really have much about what kind of Christmas gifts can be given. And so once if someone picks up a musical greeting card, it's a great thing. Wow, something new, something different. Yeah. And it makes the opposite person feel so special to have a musical greeting card. And for every other person other than the Christian community, it was like buying of this Christmas card and then wishing the people and exchanging these greeting cards with Christmas greetings and the New Year greetings. And the third picture shows the figurines. Yeah, this is like the most cherished and it still exists. Yeah, in the past we had lots of hospitals and educational institutions run by the Christian missionaries. Okay, so all these institutions, be it hospitals or educational institutions, they all, during the Christmas time, they have these beautiful decorations, which I till date cherish a lot. And of course, it is still continuing. So, accidentally, if you happen to, during the Christmas time, fall sick or go to the hospitals, you would see at the entrance these beautiful decorations of baby Jesus in a crib, then Jesus, Mary, and wonderfully with the dry grasses, straws, and it's really amazing. It's kind of a feast to the eyes. It was, and it still is. And even the educational institutions at the entrance, they would have all these beautiful, Christmas decorations. I mean, with the figurines, the dolls, the toys. Yeah. Coming to the present day celebration, today it's an all mix. Yeah. The Christmas celebration is so glittery. It is not limited to just one Christian community. No way. Everybody, irrespective of what background they come, what age group they come, Christmas and New Year must be celebrated. That is looked at as just an occasion to celebrate, to be happy. It's a joyous celebration. And today in India, it's all about having the streets, with illumination. Any organizations, institutions, or shops, whatever, marketplaces, everything is decorated with illumination, stars, and everything. And the most important.
Do you have photos of that in your other slides of what it is like now?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. In the upcoming, and the first slide,
because we only have 3 minutes left.
Oh, okay. Then I'm sorry, I don't go into the story, but okay, I'll just make it short.
I'd love to see the other photos as well.
Yeah, for us, for Indians, it is today a very glittery affair. We want to have decorations, and then everybody, irrespective of what background they come, everybody decorate their homes. Yeah, and in this particular side, what you see is one of the cities, the Kolkata. It's one of the oldest cities, and again, decorations. The streets are filled with the aroma of the cakes. Christmas to Indians is all about cakes and the illumination, the stars. Yeah. And then there is so much of shopping going around. Unlike in the past, you have many shops, almost all shops selling different kinds of cakes, different kinds of decorations. And most important, the cutest and the sweetest part is the kids are not gonna keep quiet. Every kid of today's generation want a Christmas tree. I don't know how the idea came into their mind, or I really can't say that, but every kid now, it's parents' headache to ensure that every family has a Christmas tree, the decoration, the stars, and the cakes. So when you go into the streets, it's the fragrance of the roses, the flowers, the lilies, and the aroma of cakes. So that's, for us, New Year or Christmas is all about cakes, decorations, and the beautiful, fragrance. Okay, in the next slide, you can see these are the real pictures from what it is like today in India, in Delhi, our national capital. We don't really need to be surprised because you have a lot of international crowd there. So maybe that's the reason, one of the major reasons why Christmas is really a pompous affair there. Yeah, and then here Pondicherry, it's the kind of, it's called the French town of India, and you have the old rituals, customs still being followed here. Yeah, these are the church pictures, and the next one is Kerala. It is one of the, it's called God's paradise, Kerala, and this particular state is the place where supposedly Christianity started first in India. So now with that, you can imagine where Christmas stands. Yeah. And then this is in the Meghalaya and Sikkim, the states, the provinces. These are in the northern eastern part of India. So for cities like Meghalaya and Sikkim and a place called Manali, it's like white Christmas because it's freezing cold. The weather during Christmas time is across India, it's cold. It's winter season. Yeah, in the northern part, you have freezing cold, it's white Christmas, but as you come down, it is still freezing, and it's really a very nice chill weather. One is really gets into a holiday mode. Yeah, and the next one shows the pictures of the kind of food that we have in India during Christmas. It's a mix of Western food plus the Indian traditional food, irrespective of whether they are Christians, Muslims, or kind of thing. But it's kind of mixed, but 100% a sure shot item that is part of the dinner or the meals of during Christmas is the cake. Christmas is incomplete without cake.
Yeah, thank you so much. That was so interesting, and thank you for all the photos of the different cities. It's nice to see that it's like different weather in those places and how people celebrate. And white Christmas, I mean, I haven't had that for years, so that's very lovely. Thank you.
And the last slide is my celebration at my home. Nice. My Christmas decorations.
So you have a tree as well?
Yeah, I do. I don't want to miss it.
Lovely. And we have a comment from Noah Lee saying, 教会のイルミネーションもとても素敵ですね. So the lights on the church, maybe, you showed a few photos. It's really pretty, they say.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, great. Then could you please stop the screen share? And then we'll move to Judy next. Okay, are you ready?
Yes, hello.
Okay, wonderful.
I just need to share my screen. Hello, everyone. My name is Judy, and I'm very happy to see you. Merry Christmas to everyone.
Merry Christmas.
I have to find my presentation. So I'm on an iPad. It's different for me. I don't do this often.
Okay, no problem.
So,
it started sharing. Yes.
So. This is, I'm going to do something a little bit different. This is going to be very personal about my own experience. This is the first page of my favorite Christmas book that I had from maybe the time I was born, maybe 1 or 2 years old. And my copy is in such bad condition. And this is my favorite Christmas poem. And this was written over 100 years ago. And the pictures were drawn to look sort of like Victorian times, so in the 1800s. And this was always my idea of what Christmas should look like. So it wasn't until I got older that I would see television shows depicting modern Christmases. But this was sort of, it should look like this. The Christmas tree should look like this. And there should be a fireplace, lamps, this kind of thing. And this was something that characterized my childhood, was an imagination of what is the perfect Christmas, which really stuck with me. And I kept trying to do, let's see if I can go here. People have talked about different traditions. So other people have talked about the tradition of decorating the tree. This is a very small tree on a tabletop. I move around a lot, as probably many other people who you've spoken to today do. So I tend to get something like this, a small Christmas tree. I live on a boat now, and last year's Christmas tree was a real tree, this big, very tiny, so small I couldn't decorate it. But sometimes I have in the past had very tiny decorations that I can carry with me that fit into a box, a very small box. So I can actually decorate tiny, tiny Christmas trees. So that's a tradition no matter what. I don't have one this year, but usually I have some kind of small tree wherever I am. And it's to bring some kind of green living thing into your life when it's very cold and dead outside. It's very gloomy. We haven't seen the sun for a long time here. I'm in England now. And so to have something with lights and colors and something green and living at the darkest time of the year is a really important thing for me. Another important tradition for a lot of children in America is getting your picture taken with Santa. So we go to a shopping mall, and every shopping mall has a Santa. This is a Santa I've met, actually. My daughter, this isn't my family. I got this picture online, but we've met this Santa. He's the best Santa, and he looks very real. And some people, this is their job, to be Santa. So most of the year they do other jobs, but around Christmas time, their job is to be Santa, and they'll work maybe at the same shopping mall for a very long time. And children line up, and you might wait in line for a very long time because everyone wants to sit on Santa's lap and tell Santa, what do you want for Christmas? And it's also very typical that when you're 5 years old maybe, and you get to see Santa, and children cry and cry because they're terrified. Here's this strange man, and mom and dad put you on the strange man's lap, and he has a beard, and you think, ah! So you want it to be very perfect. Oh, let's go talk to Santa. But children sometimes cry and are frightened. But also maybe they're too shy and they can't tell him, what do you want for Christmas? What do you want for Christmas? So this is a difficult thing. So maybe when they get a little older, they're not shy, but then they don't want to go sit on Santa's lap anymore. But this is a lovely Santa, and he's very good. And you take a photo, and you pay for a photo that this is, your little girl, your little boy on Santa's lap. So that's very important tradition in my family. Another one, making Christmas cookies. So we had a special book called The Cookie Book. So I've heard many people speak about Christmas cakes. We never had anything like Christmas cakes for me in America growing up, but Christmas cookies was huge. And every year you would think, I want to make 10 different kinds of cookies, and they each make maybe 70 or 100 cookies. And you have this very ambitious plan to make cookies, and maybe it doesn't happen. And you want to decorate them with the pretty frosting, and it's just too much. Everyone's very busy. So you always have a plan. Oh, I really want so many cookies. People have cookie exchange parties. You make one kind of cookie. Maybe 10 different families all come. Everyone makes a different kind of cookie. And then the host makes coffee. And you see all these beautiful cookies. And you have coffee and cookies with friends in your neighborhood. So that's a good way to have a lot of different kinds of cookies without the pressure. But they're yummy, and they're special for Christmas. You don't do anything like this any other time of year. And Christmas stockings is another huge important one. And you see here different kinds. Some people knit stockings for themselves or their children. We still have my mother's stocking, my uncle's stocking from when they were children that they hang up. My mother made her mother and father really elaborate embroidered Christmas stockings later. So we hang those up, even though they're not with us anymore. We still hang the family member stockings, even though they're gone, they're not with us anymore. And it's an important way to remember and keep your family with you year after year. And my mother made me a stocking when I was little, so we still have my stocking like that. I have a stocking from my daughter. And so your stocking is your special thing. It's very special. And sometimes it's your favorite part of Christmas because it's all small gifts. Someone once called this ningy-nings. I have no idea, but they're all small, beautiful gifts. And maybe it would be chocolate or pencils, pens, erasers, makeup, tiny toys like Playmobil or Lego. The small ones go in there. And usually when you go to sleep, your stocking is hung up. But when you wake up on Christmas morning, your stocking is on your bed. So the children wake up in the morning and mom and dad want to sleep for longer. So the children can open their stockings by themselves in their bed, and that can keep them busy for a little while before everyone wakes up. So this is my favorite, is the stocking. My daughter's favorite is the stocking also. Oh my goodness. There we go. And we often also have traditions for what to watch, what to read. So when my daughter was little, we would always watch A Muppet Family Christmas. There was a special Fraggle Rock that was for the winter solstice we would always watch every year. And that's the cover of my favorite book from when I was a child. So we often have traditional things that we read like that. And then there's the gifts under the tree in this way. And I will finish with this. My favorite part of Christmas is the excitement that you get from thinking about surprising someone with something, thinking about a special thing to get for your friends or your family that will give them joy or delight. And usually I forget that I will also receive gifts because my focus is on, oh, what can I get this person? What can I get my mother this year? What can I get my daughter this year? What is the perfect thing that they would like that will surprise them? So that's the big joy, is thinking about how to make someone else happy with something like this, and then anticipating, will they like it? You know, will they not like it? And then when someone hands me a gift, I think, what? I wasn't expecting a gift. This is a surprise. So those are my favorite parts of Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much for sharing all of those personal stories with us as well. Let me see what comments we got. So student called Minimal said, first of all, cute Christmas tree. Then they posted like a laughing comment, I guess in between maybe the story with Santa and the crying children. And then another comment, that's interesting that you can enjoy various cookies. Yeah, I liked what you said about the cookie party as well. So everyone just makes one kind of cookie and then you share. That sounds doable. Yeah. And another student, Eri Shiro, says, ケーキだと思ってましたが、クッキーなんですね。日本ではケーキですが、違いが面白いですね。So they were surprised that it was cookies and not cake, and said that in Japan it's also cake. And Carol Cool 0018 says, will shopping mall Santas give children gifts? And P.S. Thanks for sharing photos and describing the scene. It's interesting.
Sometimes, yes, they would have, like, each child would get some small token from the Santa. So like a thank you for visiting Santa, but not the real gift. So when you ask Santa, I want a pony, you know, I want a dollhouse. This is what you hope he will bring you Christmas morning. You hope it will be under the tree. So, but usually they will give you maybe a small coloring book, a pencil, some small token gift usually.
Very nice. Okay, then I think I'm giving over to Astrid now.
Yeah, thank you so much. And we are starting with Sharif next, if you're ready to share your screen.
Yes, hello everyone. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, okay. Hello everyone. Yeah, my name is Sharif. I hope you're all having a good night. I'm from Melbourne, Australia, but I live in Japan. I've been here for almost 7 years. Actually, and yeah, I'm going to be talking about Christmas in Australia. So let me share my screen. Just give me 1 sec. Okay. Okay, can everyone see this okay?
Yes, perfect.
Right? Okay, so in Australia, as some of you might know, we are called sometimes Aussies when we spell Christmas with an X. I don't know why, but we do. Okay, so and Christmas in Australia is during summer. And a lot of us Aussies will be going to the beach during this time. As you can see here, they're all dressed up like Santa and in bikinis and shorts. Yeah, it's like a party, actually. Okay, the first slide is a typical Christmas lunch sort of thing. We have an Asian Australian family here. It's actually a combined Christmas and birthday celebration this year. You can see a birthday cake here, but you can also see like a small Christmas tree, Christmas gifts. And typically, because it's summer in Australia, we would have a fruit salad. Typical fruit salad in Australia is like watermelon, cherries, pineapples, strawberries, and of course, no Christmas is complete without barbecue. We can't really see the picture here, but I can pretty much guess that this is lamb chops in here. Lamb chops is always there, and there's always chicken, and skewers here maybe. Yeah, so this is a typical Christmas lunch. And okay, let's look at the next one. Another typical lunch here. If you want to do it indoors, you can, of course, with your family. You can do a Christmas cracker, what we call it. So this is like a toy, actually. There's a small toy inside, or like a small, similar to like a fortune cookie, maybe like a little joke. You pull it apart, and it will cling to one side of the cracker, and whoever gets it keeps it. And it's normally done by kids, but I do it with my friend. My adults do it too. It's kind of fun, and yeah, it's one of the traditions. I think it came originally from England though, but the Aussies do it too. Okay, and next we have this is called a carols by candlelight, conducted during New Year's Eve in Melbourne, Australia, where I'm from, at a place called Sydney Maya Music Bowl. This is a charity event for children with impaired vision. It raises millions of dollars each year. Helping kids, with guide dogs and, help them with their vision impairment. And yeah, this is the stage here. You can see in the middle, very famous Australian singers would volunteer and sing Christmas songs during the night. And as you can see on the background, that is Melbourne, city of Melbourne at the background. This is held at a very big park close by to the city. And it's capacity of about 10,000 people, I think, each year comes along. And this is what it looks like close up. You can see your brother and sister, I'm assuming here. And I think this lad over here has been to Japan because he's got a Fukushima t-shirt on. I got this picture on Google, so I don't know who he is, but I'm pretty sure he's been here as well. And yeah, so the Christmas hat is on, and we have candles, of course. And the whole family comes along, grandma, grandpa, and we sing all the Christmas favorites, Silent Night, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and all the Christmas favorites. Yeah, it's played throughout the night until midnight, and then everyone goes home and squeezes in the last train, which is a quite interesting ride. All right, and then finally, actually, this is the beach, Christmas Day. Average temperature in Melbourne is about 30 to 35 degrees on a Christmas day. So as you can imagine, it's quite hot. So a lot of us would go to the beach, do some sun tanning, hang out with the mates, hang out with your family, and build some sandman. So in winter, you would build the snowman, and we have the summer, so we will build the sandman. Over here, a little bit more difficult to make, but a lot of fun to do. Yeah, so yes, very nice atmosphere here. This beach, I'm assuming, is somewhere maybe in Sydney, maybe Bondi. Okay, next picture. Yeah, well, we get the surfboards out as well during summer, during Christmas Day. We got a lot of lads here in their Santa suits trying to surf. Look like a bunch of amateurs actually, but that's okay. It's all about having fun. Yeah, this happens throughout Australia. This is Queensland, New South Wales, Melbourne. Everyone, tries to surf on this day. I don't know why, but it's become quite of a tradition. And next slide is, another close-up of the Sandman. A little bit, it's okay, I guess. You can see that he's a three-part Sandman, but there's some more elaborate ones. I didn't have enough time to look for a more detailed Sandman, but there's some people do really make really good ones, and there's like a competition as well, some parts of Australia, but this is like a basic Sandman that kids make. And next one is, so December 26th is Boxing Day. I believe other countries have similar days, and we generally go shopping on this day. So the stores open around 9 o'clock, and people line up at from around 6 a.m. Actually, this is a David Jones shopping center, but you can pretty much every shopping mall in Australia is the queue is this long. Yeah, it's crazy actually, because some of the items for sale could be as discounted as much as 50%. So as you can imagine, people go crazy on a Boxing Day, and yeah, all the money that you get, all the kids that get money for Christmas, they spend it all the next day on Boxing Day sales, and then come home with the presents that they actually wanted. Yeah, because we all know that, you know, during Christmas we don't get what we really want, but that gives us the opportunity for Boxing Day to come along and get what we're really looking for. Yeah, what we really wanted to ask Santa. So yeah, that's my presentation for today. I hope you all enjoy that. Let me just stop sharing the screen.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And yeah, I hope you all have a safe holiday season, and looking forward to seeing you all on Cafe Talk sometime in the future. Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much. We have a comment also in chat from Minimal saying, I would like to experience summer Christmas. And yeah, I would say that's probably the biggest difference we've seen today, to have Christmas in summer. Do you personally prefer having it in summer, or now that you're in Japan, do you like the winter Christmas?
To be honest, yeah, because I grew up in Australia, I do prefer the summer Christmas. I think there's it's a different kind of atmosphere, I guess. And I'm a summer kind of guy. I don't really like cold winter, so
Yeah.
unless I'm snowboarding. So, but generally, I like the beach, and you know, as Aussies, beach is like life. So yeah, Christmas is definitely different in Australia, and yeah, I do miss it. I've been here for 7 years, so it's been a while. But yeah, the next chance I get, when the borders open up, I'll be going with my family. I'll take my wife and baby son over and let them experience this special day over there. I think they will enjoy it as well.
Yeah, and we have one more question also from Irishiro asking if it's the Boxing Day sale, if that's kind of like the beginning of the year, the New Year's sale in Japan. So like connected to that holiday.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, actually, yes, it is. A Boxing Day has a lot of events. Actually, we have a Boxing Day cricket. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the sport of cricket, played in India, UK, Commonwealth countries. So we have that, and you know, we have also like Boxing Day, like Sydney to Hobart boat race. It's a really big event in Australia. It's televised on TV. So there's a host of different events on Boxing Day. Shopping is just one of them. And yeah, basically, it's a continuation of the Christmas celebrations the following day. You know, one day is just, you know, not enough, I guess, for a lot of people. So they continue to the next day.
Yeah, student Noah is also saying Boxing Day のことを初めて知りました。26日というところも面白いですね。So I've learned for the first time that Boxing Day exists, and that there's also something happening on the 26th.
Yeah. It's absolutely, yeah. It's definitely a big event, big day. Not just in Australia, but New Zealand as well, and across many other countries to celebrate Boxing Day.
Okay, yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Next up is Yara, if you want to share your screen with us.
Yes, hello everyone.
I think Sharif is still sharing, sorry.
皆さんこんにちは. Yeah, I think you're still sharing.
Okay, I'm trying
so I have to wait.
Sorry, hang on.
No problem.
Sorry about that. Okay,
yeah,
sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, hello everyone. 皆さんこんにちは. Yara と申します. I'm Yara, and today I'd like to talk about Christmas cultures explored through desserts. So, クリスマスのデザート文化について話したいと思います. But I'll be speaking in English. So, let's start. First of all, this is here are some photos of my family, and I'll tell you a bit why I picked so many countries to talk about today. So here, this is our Christmas tree this year, pretty traditional. And here is a super minimalist tree that my mother designed. Pretty crazy. And this is in Lebanon. Next, now we get to the desserts. First dessert is panettone, which comes from Italy. This is one of my favorite Christmas desserts. We eat it a lot in Lebanon as well. And apparently it is said to come from the 1400s, so it's pretty old. from originating in Milano. And in Italian, you say Buon Natale to say Merry Christmas. Next, the reason I picked Italy is because I've lived there before and I've studied a lot of Italian, so I'm very familiar and in love with the Italian culture. Next up, we have France in the Mediterranean. And very, very popular in France is the Bûche de Noël, which I believe Jack has spoken about, the Yule Log. I didn't know that they had this in America as well, but it's super, super popular in Europe, specifically French-speaking European countries. Apparently, it's said to come from the medieval times, from pagan rituals where they used to take a real log, so a real piece of wood, and sprinkle wine or salt on it and let it burn in the fireplace. Or the recipe itself as a cake apparently comes from 1870 Paris. Joyeux Noël. Next up, we have Lebanon with another Bûche de Noël. Why do we eat Bûche de Noël in Lebanon? Well, because it was colonized by France. So we have kept some of the tastier things from the old days when we were colonized. In Arabic, to say Merry Christmas, it's Eid Milad Majid, which means kind of happy birthday of the Prophet, or happy birthday to the Prophet. Or the other commonly spoken language in Lebanon is French, of course, and we say Joyeux Noël as well. And coming back to what my colleagues have said today, in Lebanon, similar to India, and throughout the Middle East in general, everyone celebrates Christmas. So it's not just for Christians. My family celebrate it too, and most of them are atheist. But it's a pretty popular celebration for us because it's a good excuse to eat a lot, drink a lot, and get each other gifts. And next up, this is a bit different because it's not really Christmas. It's Vasilopita, which comes from Greece, but also, as you saw in Maya's presentation, they eat this in Serbia as well. So I think it's the kind of Orthodox Christian connection, kind of, but here they eat it in New Year's. But in my case, I experienced this cake last year during Christmas, also in Greece. Why did I pick Greece? Because my sister-in-law's husband is Greek. So Giri no ane no otto is Greek. That's why I've chosen Greece to be part of this. And in Greek, to say Merry Christmas, I think we have some Greek people here, so they can correct the pronunciation later. It's Kala Christoyena, I think. Next up, we have Austria. I've chosen Austria because I currently live in Austria. And in Austria, the most popular Christmas dessert is a Christmas cookie, like I believe Judy said, in the UK. So in Austria, they have vanilla Kipfel, which I believe they also have in Germany, Switzerland, maybe Luxembourg as well. And we also love Glühwein, which is mulled wine, super popular in Austria with Christmas markets and everything. And Vanillekipferl actually come from Vienna. Apparently, the history is that they are shaped like a crescent moon to symbolize the celebration of the victory against Turkey in 1683. Pretty interesting, I think. And yeah, in German, you say Frohe Weihnachten. Of course, I think Madeleine can correct the German if it's wrong.
Perfect
That's it for thanks. That's it for today. I've left some recipes here, which maybe the Cafe Talk lovely ladies can share, or I can also leave on my Cafe Talk. They're pretty easy to make. And yeah, that's it from me. So thank you very much for watching. このビデオを見せてくださってありがとうございました。
Thank you so much. That was really interesting to see all the different ones. And we do have Vanillekipferl in Germany as well, but I also didn't know that the history of the shape was so old. I didn't know that. Yeah. Just let me look at the comments. Noali is saying, "Recipe ma arigatou gozaimasu, skatte mitai desu." So thank you so much for the recipes. I really want to try them. So I think we can definitely share those later on with the students so they can try baking some Christmas desserts. Does anybody also have a comment about, for example, the Yule Log or the similarity with the coin in the dessert? Anything that you want to comment on? Okay, unless we have a comment in chat, I would say we can also continue with the next presentation, and that would be Elena. If you're ready to start sharing your screen.
Yes, hi guys. I will also talk about some similar stuff as well, and I'll tell you my experience with the coin, Vasilopita as well. So let me just share my screen. My name is Elena, first of all, and I have been teaching on Cafe Talk for 1.5 years now. Bear with me one moment. Okay. Okay, so my presentation is around my family and how we celebrate Christmas. I'm lucky enough to have family in 3 different countries. I live in England, in the southwest of England, by the beach in a small town called Bournemouth. I also have family in Scotland, which is the best place in the world for me, and also in Greece. Right, deck the halls. Every year I start decorating my house earlier and earlier. So this year I started in November, especially as last year we didn't get the chance to celebrate Christmas the way that we wanted. So I'm sure by next year I'll probably start decorating and shopping in August or something, leaving the beach and then going to the shops. So usually in November I buy my new decorations, tinsel and garland. I like to visit Christmas markets, which is extremely big in the UK, but I think in Europe in general, Austria, Germany, they've got fantastic Christmas markets. We like sipping on mulled wine and eating roasted chestnuts. I think that's very, very important in England, especially, and I think in the UK in general. In December, to be honest with you, my family wants to put the tree up in November, but I always try to be good and not be completely over the top. So wait until December. So I put my tree up, and the Christmas stockings go on the mantelpiece by the fireplace. Usually we place the Christmas presents underneath the tree just before Christmas, because otherwise I'm very naughty. So I always like to have a peek. Sometimes I lift them, I shake the box, and my family hates that. So they try to put the Christmas presents just before, the day before maybe we're about to exchange them. So on Christmas Day, I think, as other people have said, is a day of spending it with your family. We exchange presents. We overindulge. In the UK, I'm sure in other countries as well. Like my colleagues have said, we eat and drink until we are stuffed, until we faint. The villages and the towns are all decorated, I think, since November up until the end of the festive season. Usually we have roasted turkey and all the trimmings, stuffing and gravy, sometimes Yorkshire pudding, like Jack mentioned before. No turkey for me though, because I'm vegetarian, but I can watch other people, you know, enjoy it. On Boxing Day, which is the day after, we eat leftovers in my family. There's so much food that, and my brother usually looks a little bit like this. He feels he's absolutely so stuffed by the end of it that he's drowning in all the food around him. So day 2 of the turkey and with all our trimmings. So my some of my relatives that live in Greece, what I remember from that is that every time I visited in the past, I used to love seeing the children on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve going from door to door singing Christmas carols or New Year's carols, because they're different, in exchange for money. I mean, you don't have to give a lot, but because they go to so many different houses, by the end of the day, they're actually rich. So New Year's Eve there is bigger than it is in the UK, and is bigger than their Christmas Day. So people exchange their presents on New Year's Day rather than Christmas Day. And Vasilopita, of course, like my colleagues have already mentioned, when they bake the cake, they put some kitchen foil and in the kitchen foil a coin, which goes in the dough. The one that I'm talking about is not bread, is cake, the one that I've had. And I remember when we were there with my family and with my other relatives, some people were not even interested in eating it straight away, but you just try to destroy it and trying to find the coin. So you can say, yes, I'm going to be lucky, you know, for the rest of the year or for the whole year. So, and then last but not least, my most favorite country out of all, a little bit most favorite, is Scotland, and particularly in Edinburgh, where my family lives. It's Hogmanay. Hogmanay is the Scots word for obviously New Year's Eve. They have their own Scottish celebrations, as you can see here. The second picture is from Edinburgh, the capital, and the fantastic castle up on the top. The atmosphere is electric, even though I have never been on that particular day there. I usually visit other times, but any events that they have in Edinburgh, I would suggest to everybody and recommend go. It's fantastic. And then they carry on with the celebrations on January the 2nd, which is also, I believe, a holiday for the Scots, a bank holiday, as we call it here. And they celebrate then as well. So this is what I've got for you guys today. Thank you very much for listening. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I hope I see you on Cafe Talk soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And it already looks so festive with your hat and everything.
You can tell I love Christmas, yeah?
Yeah. And yeah, we have some comments again. Aki was saying, love mulled wine. So we have a lot of mulled wine fans. And also Minimal is asking, coin wa haite tara atari tte koto desu ka? So if the coin is in the piece you have, does that mean you won essentially? And so yeah, from what you explained, that means you are the lucky one if you have the coin, right?
Absolutely. And you know, sometimes the coin gets stuck between two pieces and we're trying to be nice to each other, but we're like, no, it's in mine, no, it's in mine, you know. So me and my brother are always like, and he always says that I cheat, which I don't, but there you go.
Okay. Is there like a specific value of coin you have to use, or is it just any coin?
Well, if I remember correctly, a long time ago, they had the drachma, they had like a different coin. So, you know, the coins then were quite big, you know, so I would, back then my mom used to always say, make sure you look through the piece first before you break your teeth. But now they have euros, so they're a bit smaller. So they use usually, I think, €1, €2. My auntie, she uses a €2 coin.
Okay, interesting. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
yeah, does anybody else have a comment for that? And I think also we posted the recipes from earlier in the chat for those people who want to try baking some goodies.
Go for it.
Okay, yeah, then I think the next person, Marie, can start if you're ready to start your presentation.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. Well, hi, everybody. Thank you for having me here. Yeah, it's so nice hearing everybody's stories from around the world. So today I will speak a little bit about myself and about my family. I was actually born in Russia, but then my family moved to a smaller country called Moldova. So that's the country that I'm going to speak about today, okay? And it's a little bit different because I actually live in the United States. So I ended up moving to the United States, but I will share and I will speak about Moldovan traditions. So our Christmas, you guys, our Christmas is also on January 7th, okay? So I can relate, I think Maya was speaking about the Orthodox Christmas celebrating January 7th as well. So that is when our Christmas is. But what is interesting is that during Soviet times, Christmas was banned. So people could get in real trouble if they celebrated Christmas, actually any other religious holiday as well, such as Easter. So people didn't really celebrate Christmas. So when I was born and when I was growing up, I didn't know what Christmas was. So the biggest celebration for us was the New Year's, and this is when we would receive presents. This is when we would put up the tree and decorate it. So we wouldn't call it the Christmas tree, it was the New Year's tree. And we also didn't have Santa Claus, it was Father Frost. And this is again just my liberal translation from Russian. So yeah, Christmas was banned for so many years, but then after the fall of the Soviet Union, traditions started coming back. So some people still remembered how to celebrate Christmas, like my grandmother, and then she would pass on these traditions and she would tell me and my brother about Christmas. And I remember being very confused because I didn't understand who is Jesus? Why do we celebrate his birth, right? But my grandmother was very patient, so she would explain to us what this is and how this is my tradition and all the little details, which was super interesting. And what she also told us is that when she was a kid, they would decorate the tree, the Christmas tree, with candy, sometimes fruit, walnuts, and some other sweet stuff. So I actually have a picture of, you guys can see this on screen right now. So this is how a traditional Christmas tree is supposed to look. So you would have the ornaments, but also some sweets that hang out on the tree. And we really liked this idea. And we were like, oh, Grandma, can we also have some candy on the tree? And she was like, yeah, sure, you guys can go ahead and do that. So this is one of my very, very sweet memories from Christmas time when I was a child, because we would hang out this candy on the tree. And then we would also be allowed to get some of this candy after dinner during Christmas time. And we would also have friends coming over. We would, offer candy from the tree to them as well. So that's something that I think it's a little bit different from other countries. As far as home decoration and home decor and table decor goes, that is also a little bit different. So I actually have a picture of a very traditional home decor. So the way Christmas has been celebrated, like again, after the fall of the Soviet Union and before the Soviet Union, it was more about abundance, more about prosperity in the new year. So a lot of people would put up home decor that would have some relation with nature. So we would usually have apples, walnuts, some dry fruit. So that is a very, very typical way to decorate the Christmas table for a lot of families, right? As far as traditional food goes for Christmas dinner, I can absolutely relate to the Christmas bread. Yes, so the Christmas bread, again, it's not sweet. It's just regular bread, but it has this very specific shape. So my grandmother would always bake this Christmas bread, but we don't have the coin. So we don't have the coin tradition. It's just the bread the way it is, okay? And I know that this is also very typical for the Balkan area, like countries like Romania, Serbia, Bulgaria, everybody has this Christmas bread. So another very typical food for Christmas for us is stuffed cabbage leaves. So again, I have a picture on screen right now. They are super delicious. So cabbage leaves that would be stuffed with rice and minced meat as well. So my mom would make them. My grandmother would make them, and now sometimes when I am in the mood for Christmas, I also make them. A lot of people have spoken today and have mentioned turkey. I think Jack also mentioned goose and some other poultry. So for us, the traditional meat would be pork. So Christmas is heavily associated with pork. A lot of families would make pork dishes. It could be pork in the oven, pulled pork, or anything that you guys can think of. So for us, Christmas is pork. Now, there are a ton of other traditions as well. So I think Elena mentioned Christmas carols. So we have that as well. So we would sing as children, and again, this is little kids, right? We would sing little songs, like little Christmas songs. And yeah, sometimes they would be like about Jesus and religion, but most of the times it would be just to wish other people well in the new year. And we would visit relatives and neighbors and sing them, and we would get some money for that as well. So it would usually be like a small amount of maybe some candy. What happens nowadays, though, a lot of people also celebrate Christmas on the 25th of December. So for us, December and January are just basically a long festive season. But I remember when I was in high school or maybe middle school, we went on a field trip with the class to the neighboring country, Romania, and they do celebrate Christmas on the 25th. So we didn't know that. And it just so happened it was around Christmas time. And the staff at the hotel, they were like, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, guys. And we were super confused. Christmas? It's in January. Why are you wishing me Merry Christmas right now? And yeah, but now everybody knows about it. So a lot of families do celebrate Christmas on the 25th, and then New Year's on the 1st. And then on January 7th, we have our own Christmas. To this day, it's a very low-key holiday. So it's nothing fancy, just the family getting together or wishing everybody well. And the biggest holiday to this day is still the New Year's, but we do celebrate Christmas. So it's very homey. It's a very, very warm holiday and people enjoy it. Yeah. And this is how we celebrate Christmas in Moldova. And as we say Crăciun fericit. This is how we say Merry Christmas. So Merry Christmas, everybody, and happy holidays. And I guess that's it from me. And if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Yes, so Maya is saying that you guys also have stuffed cabbage leaves. Sarmi, yeah, sarma, yeah, that's awesome. We call them sarmale. Yeah, so Maya is asking how we call them. We call them sarmale, which is very, very similar to that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, thank you so much. That was really interesting to hear. And I think, yeah, the first time that we heard that some countries have actually banned Christmas for a period of time. Yeah, so that was really interesting to know. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, if anybody has questions or comments, please post them in the chat. Yeah, is there any comments from the others that you want to make about Mary's presentation? Okay, and we have a thank you message in the chat from Noah Lee saying thank you everybody for preparing all your Christmas presentations and for today and telling everybody about Christmas. And that's at everybody. So a thank you to everyone for presenting today. Yeah, and in general, we do have some time for everyone to make some closing comments also, and to maybe promote some lessons on Cafe Talk that you want to introduce to the students. And should we just go in the same order as the presentation, starting with Olivia, maybe?
Yeah, sounds good.
Right, thank you so much for watching the event today, guys. My name is Olivia S. I tutor in English on Cafe Talk, and I do mostly free talking lessons with different time intervals, but I also do writing, proofreading, and also like reading practice and pronunciation practice. So please check out my page if you're interested. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. And next would be Maya.
Okay, yeah, thanks a lot as well for watching. It was very interesting. I really learned a lot, and I had no idea that certain things are done in a similar way in other countries as in Serbia as well. So that was really cool. And in terms of my lessons, I would just like to share a few things briefly. I'm quite new on Cafe Talk. I only joined this community at the beginning of November this year. And so far, it's just been a really wonderful experience with both the students and you guys, the Cafe Talk staff. So thanks a lot for that. And in terms of my lessons, so far I've only offered 2 types of lessons, and they both involve a story. One type of the lessons that I teach involves storytelling, and it's called Storytelling in English. And in these lessons, we always talk about a story, but not really in a traditional sense of the word, because we use videos, audio clips, pictures, and text, and sometimes all of these elements combined. And then there's another type of a lesson that I offer. This is a mystery story lesson, and it's based on a story that I wrote myself, which is an open-ending story. And that means that the student will be both the narrator and the character in the story, and they will be able to design their own storyline and choose where the story will take them. So in case you're interested, I would like to encourage you to visit my page as well. And I hope to see you on Cafe Talk. Thanks.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, Jack is next.
Right, unmute myself. Yeah, I'm Jack. Unmute myself. Hold on. Yeah, I'm Jack. You'll see me on Cafe Talk as Jack Detroit. And if you look at my profile page, I have a wide variety of topics and the language skills that I'll teach. My popular classes tend to be the business English conversation or business English communication class, and the chit chat tea time lessons. Right around the holidays, I sometimes teach topic-based lessons too. So check it out. I also have a YouTube channel and live stream on ESLJack.stream, not .com, but .stream. There's a bunch of videos on there too. And I've shared them on Cafe Talk before.
Okay, thank you so much. Shireen is next.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Sorry, I missed wishing you all a very happy, Merry Christmas. No? So having said that, I'm also relatively new to Cafe Talk, and so far, even my experience has been wonderful, both with the students as well as the Cafe Talk's support. I'm really very happy about that. And coming to the lessons that I offer, I usually offer lessons on the languages, especially the English, Hindi, and a little bit of basic German. That's because I did my higher studies there. And other than that, I offer lessons on the sciences and maths for kids, from kindergarten to the 10th graders. So if you're interested, please feel free to visit my page and contact me. And my lessons can be customized to your requirements, and I'm flexible. No? So hope you enjoyed this session, and thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I look forward to getting connected with you soon. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, next is Judy.
Hello. My username on Cafe Talk is Judy Blue, so you can find me there. I do free talk lessons, but I mostly focus on something like playing a game in English, for example, comparing two images and talking about the differences between two images. And also I do some reading authentic children's stories. So there's quite a lot of more complicated text in authentic children's stories that you might not find. And it's a good transition between sort of classroom English and sort of using English every day to read the stories. You can focus on pronunciation, learn some idioms, this kind of thing. And even for younger kids, some authentic children's books, the Usborne series, where it can be from sort of beginning English or beginning reading, essentially, right up to sort of 9 or 10-year-old age range for native English speakers. But it could be used for kids or adults when they're learning. So anything like that, or other stuff. I can do academic English. I've got a PhD in archaeological science, so I can do technical stuff. I've been a project manager in business. I can do business things. So anything anybody wants to do, I'm interested in. And thank you. Happy New Year and Merry Christmas to everyone.
Thank you so much. Yeah, Sharif, if you want to go next.
Okay, yes. Hello again, everyone. Yes, just like the other instructors here, I also offer a variety of different lessons. My 3 top favorites at the moment is business English consultation. So I used to be a recruitment consultant, so I know a little bit about different industries. And another popular one is advanced level topics. So we discuss general topics about, just random topics about anything and everything, I guess. I have a whole list of topics there you could choose. And I'll send you the questions ahead of time, and then we can discuss them, dissect them, and basically, I want to hear your opinions about these topics, and then we can, sort of have a deeper conversation about them. And the third one is daily conversation, so we can just practice about just chit chat things or things like that, and then a casual conversation basically. And then check out my profile if you're interested, and all the best for 2022, everyone. I hope it's a good one. See you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yara is next.
Yeah, thank you. And so, yeah, like everyone else here, I teach a variety of things. I teach English. I also teach yoga. I've been doing yoga for 10, 12 years. And I also teach singing. I'm a classical opera singer. So I've done my master's in opera. So I also teach singing. So a bit of many different kinds of things, as well as, of course, English. So yeah, check out my page if you're interested. And thank you again to everyone. And super interesting listening to everyone's Christmas kind of different cultures and different things that you all love. And wishing you all a very Merry Christmas, New Year's, anything else you celebrate. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Then Elena is next.
Sorry, guys. Hi, guys. Again, I'm Elena. I teach mainly English and history and politics on Cafe Talk. My most popular lessons are academic English and writing, presentations, job-related lessons and university-based lessons, and also conversation. We can do freestyle. I have freestyle lessons, just free chatting, and also some topic-based and worksheet-based lessons. But there are I've got a variety of other courses and sessions that you can choose from, working on different skills. Always message me. I change my lessons to fit your needs, so there's no problem. Message me in advance. It's been really nice being here today. It was a privilege hearing all of you guys speaking about your cultures and different traditions. And thank you very much to the Cafe Talk staff. Thank you very much. Hope to see you soon again.
Oh, thank you. And lastly, we have Marie.
Yeah, so just like everybody else, I teach a variety of classes on Cafe Talk. I've been on Cafe Talk for about 2 years now, and it has been wonderful. So I teach English and Russian. My classes are mostly conversational classes where we can just get together and speak pretty much about anything that you guys want. A lot of my classes are customizable. So a lot of the requests that I get from students is that they know the grammar, they know how to follow the books, but they do not necessarily understand what people speak about in songs or movies. So very often I would dissect that with certain students, like help them break down and understand more conversational day-to-day English. Same goes for Russian classes. So that is one part of my lessons. And then the other side that I also do focus on is business English. I have been working in the legal field for about 10 years. So I have like a group of students that I help with writing business emails, just being professional, knowing specific vocabulary. And yeah, so these are the main things that I focus on. It's either conversation or business English. Feel free to find me on Cafe Talk. It's Marie S. So if you're interested, I would be very, very glad to chat with you. It was super nice seeing everybody here. It was super nice being in this event. So thank you again for having me, and happy holidays, everybody. Happy holidays.
Yeah, thank you so much. We have some more comments in the chat for everybody. So Ski Kusa is saying, I had so much fun learning lots of ways of celebrating Christmas. Was wonderful. Wish you all have a Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Minimal is also had another question for Marie, I think, just to check the country again. So it was Moldova, right?
Yeah, that is correct. So it's Moldova. It's a very small country. It's right between Ukraine and Romania. So if you look at Google Maps, you will be able to find it. Moldova, that is correct. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we also have another message from Carol Kuo 0018 saying, thank you for the arrangement and preparation. Knowing other countries celebrating way is pretty fresh and interesting. So yeah, I think everybody's really happy to learn all these different traditions.
And Linko also says it was so interesting to see everything from all the different countries, and that's something you can only see on Cafe Talk. Thank you very much, and thank you to all of the teachers. And Tsukyusa says, oh, or did you read that already?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, there was the
okay,
one.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, the chat keeps jumping up if someone new comments, so it's a little bit confusing. Yeah, but I think we covered everyone's comments. If we didn't, then I'm very sorry. Okay, yeah, I think that's it. We have 46 people right now. I think at some point we even were at around 50. So thank you all for watching this amazing event. Thank you all for sharing your stories and your Christmas cultures with us. And yeah, hopefully we can do something again next year. So I wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a happy holiday season and a Happy New Year. So thank you all and goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.